All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this 1-hour flow class on this nice sunny day. I'm Kristen, and I'll be taking us through this next hour. Start today's class on our backs in Shavasana pose. If you'd like to use a block as a prop, you're more than welcome to do that. You can place one along your spine, using the other one as a pillow. You can place one underneath your hips for supported bridge pose, or legs can be extended. Or you can rest your feet on a block in Shavasana. Have the two blocks at the end of the mat. And your heels resting on the blocks. It's just kind of fun to experiment with all the different ways blocks can assist us in our class. It's not even a matter of if we need a block, it's about using the props that we have at hand. Sometimes you'll find that they just really enhance a pose. All right, let's inhale together. Pause at the top, just suspend that breath for a moment. And open your mouths and let the breath just fall out nice and slow and complete. If you feel like you've got a couple more of those in you, go ahead. Inhale, filling up with fresh air, nourishment. And exhale, anything stale. Anything sticky. Anything weighing you down. Just let it go. As you begin to soften, relax. Allow the skin across your forehead to soften. Let the corners of your eyes become heavy. The corners of your mouth become heavy. Allow the jaw to release. The back of the neck. The shoulders. Collarbone. Imagine it can spread and soften. Imagine the hip bones can soften. And all the muscles around the belly. The low back. If you've begun clenching any part of your body, your jaw, your teeth, your eyes, just notice that. Or if your mind has wandered away, notice that. And maybe with a simple I breathe in, you inhale. And then I breathe out as you exhale. You can repeat that a few times just to recenter, to redirect your thoughts. It's a powerful message to ourselves that we just keep our breath moving, stay connected to the breath now and for the next 55 minutes. It's so easy to lose the connection, but the more we practice, the more we notice it, the more easy it is, the easier it is to redirect, recenter, reconnect to our breath. Let's inhale as we reach our arms overhead and then open the arms wide, open the legs wide and stretch into a big X shape. You can reach one hand and then the other like you're reaching for a rope or something. Maybe stretch one foot and then the other. And then let's bring our left leg and our left arm over to the right side of the mat, maybe crossing the left ankle over the right, maybe holding the left ankle or the left wrist with the right hand. Position yourself so that you feel a nice long stretch and release from the left foot all the way up the leg into the ribs, under the arm, and even into the fingertips. Let's inhale, feeling those muscles, the intercostals between the ribs stretching. Lots of space for the lungs to fill. And then we'll exhale as we come back into the X shape, wide arms, wide legs. And then go ahead and bring the right arm and the right leg over to the left side of the mat. Finding that same shape, a bow shape. And then inhale as your inner gaze travels from that foot up the leg, the hip, the ribs, under the arm, along the arm, and into the fingertips. And let's go ahead and come back long on the mat, legs stretching down long, arms reaching overhead. Inhale as you're nice and long, and then exhale, bend the knees, place the feet on the mat, and bring the arms down along your sides, palms facing the mat. Go ahead and just kind of lift the hips, tuck the shoulder blades, maybe lift the head, lay it back down, getting the spine long and centered. We'll move through some pelvic tilts just to start to warm the lower back. So let's lift our tailbone just a little bit as we press our low back into the mat and then release. And then go ahead, tip that pelvic bowl back towards you and then release. Just a nice gentle movement of the hips, the low back. And then on your next pelvic tilt, let's lift the hips into about a half bridge pose. And then lower them down onto the mat. You'll feel that low curve of the back reappear. And let's lift again. Press into the feet, lift the hip bones, the belly, the heart. And exhale, release. And let's do that again. Pressing the hips up, and let's come all the way up into a bridge pose, your full expression, whatever that looks like today. Lifting the hip bones, lifting the belly. Maybe you make a fist underneath the hips and walk your shoulders towards each other, supporting your body with the outsides of the shoulders. You've got a space between the chin and the chest. Keep the neck soft. Press the knees forward. Let's inhale. And as we exhale, release the grip. If you have it, release the shoulder blades, let them slide apart, and slowly lower your spine onto the mat. Let's bring our feet wide on the mat and sway the knees from side to side. And now we'll let both knees drop off to the right side of the mat. You can stay like this in a more restorative spinal rotation, or you can lift your right foot, place it on your left thigh. See how that feels on your knee, your low back, your hips, your sacrum. Pay attention to the body's signals. Back off when you're approaching any pain signals. Your body's pretty good at letting you know when you need to back off or when you can go a little deeper. If you've got the foot on the thigh, go ahead and release it. Both feet come to the mat wide. Sway the knees a couple of times side to side, and then we'll let the knees drop to the left. Spinal rotation. Maybe the left foot rests on the top of the right thigh. Once you're there, inhale. Feel expansive across the belly and the chest, and then exhale. And we'll release the foot from the leg. If you've got it there, both feet come to the mat. Sway the knees a couple more times side to side. Let's cross our right ankle over our left thigh. And the hands come behind the left thigh. Draw the legs back towards you, maybe pressing the right knee open with your right elbow. Inhale. And exhale, pull the legs towards you. Flex that right foot, maybe flex the left foot. Or you can point and flex your left foot, rotate the ankle. And then we'll place the left foot on the mat. Keep the right ankle crossed over that left thigh, that left knee. And then with the right hand, gently press the right knee away from you. The right knee pressing towards the front of the room. And then the right foot will come to the mat and the left ankle crosses the right thigh. Right foot lifts, hands come behind the right leg, pull the legs back toward you, maybe pressing that left knee away. Inhale. Exhale, flex the left foot, maybe flex the right foot or point and flex it, rotate the ankle. And then we'll put the right foot on the mat, left hand gently presses the left knee towards the front of the room. And then release. Let's lift our feet off the mat. Knees are above the hips. The hands might come lightly behind the thighs, maybe fingertips just pressing or lightly touching the backs of the thighs. Let's inhale here. And using the core, using control, let's lift up into a boat pose. See if you can do that without touching your feet to the mat first. Nice. The arms can reach out. The fingertips can stay gently touching the back of the thigh. The hands can come out, fingertips on the floor. Let's inhale, and we'll exhale and roll back onto our backs, keeping the knees above the hips. Inhale here and exhale. Let's lift up into boat pose again. Balancing. And then onto the back one last time. Inhale and exhale. Use the core to lift into boat pose. If you'd like, you can extend the legs in boat pose. You can bring the arms overhead. You can tap one foot to the floor or both toes to the floor, toes of both feet. We'll hold here for a couple more rounds of breath. Soften through the face and the neck. Try not to reach with the shoulders. Try to stay soft all across the chest and shoulders. Let's inhale and exhale as we roll forward, bottoms of the feet together. The hands can wrap around the feet or the ankles and just let the body rest over the legs. Inhale as we lift the head towards the ceiling. Knees come together, and let's roll onto our toes and just release our toes, rocking back and forth. Maybe the heels drop a little closer to the mat, feeling a stretch in the calf. And then we'll walk our hands back towards our feet. Lift the hips as we lower our head towards the mat, meeting in forward fold. Take a couple rounds of breath here to straighten one leg and then the other. Maybe you introduce a little gentle sway into the body, maybe side to side. Release the head between the arms. And then pulling that low belly up to the spine, let's inhale, coming into half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, fingertips on the shins, shoulder blades pulling towards each other. You've got that low belly pulling up to support your back. We'll take a couple breaths in this pose. Have a little softness in the knees so that you're not hyperextending those knees. Lift the pelvic floor. Beautiful, everyone. Really nice. One more inhale and exhale, forward fold. Let's bend the knees, tuck the chin, and then press into the feet as you press yourselves all the way up to stand, arms reaching overhead. Inhale here. And exhale. Let's bring our feet wide on the mat. You can turn sideways on the mat, maybe facing the windows so that you have the best grip on the mat. Arms wide, feet wide, toes might be slightly pointed out. Let's inhale and then exhale as we bend our knees and sweep our arms in front of us and press ourselves back up. Inhale. Lisa, I'll get back out in front here to show you, and then we'll keep doing this pose. This is called sunflower pose. You're welcome, if you'd like to, if you don't get dizzy, to drop your head as you lower. Drop your head towards the floor and then lift up. But if you get it all dizzy or motion sick, just keep the head lifted. We exhale as we lower. We inhale as we press into the feet and open up wide. We'll meet with the arms stretched out and then bend the knees, placing the hands on the thighs. Let's drop our right shoulder towards our left side, looking over the left shoulder, and then inhale, center, drop the left shoulder towards the right side, look over the right shoulder, and go ahead, do this a few times, just stretching out the back, the inner thighs. Just let it feel good. We'll meet in the center. And exhale, drop the head down between the legs, wide-legged forward fold. If you've got a block handy, you can bring the block along with you, place it underneath your face. And we'll just stay in this wide-legged forward fold. Feel free to widen your stance if you'd like to. You can turn your fingers towards your heels or towards the back of the mat, what's now the back of the mat, and walk your hands between your legs, placing the palms on the mat. Maybe helping lower you a little bit deeper into this stretch. And we'll walk our hands back underneath our face. If you've got that block under your face, maybe walk your feet a little bit closer together. Place your left hand on the block, bend your left knee slightly, and sweep your right arm overhead. You can turn and look at that right hand as we twist. Inhale, maybe rotate the hand, releasing the wrist. One more inhale, and then exhale, the right hand comes to the block, the left arm sweeps overhead, and maybe the right knee bends, giving you a little more range of motion in the twist. Maybe roll that left wrist out. Inhale and exhale. Both hands come to the mat or the floor or the block. Release the head, dangle one more time. And then we'll move that block out of the way, come to the top of the mat, forward fold. Let's inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release, forward fold. Bend the knees deeply, tuck the chin, and press into the feet as you rise, using the feet and the inner thighs to help lift us tall. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Inhale, exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, hands reach overhead. Let's swan dive, forward fold, bend the knees. Step your right foot to the back of the mat, meeting in runner's lunge. You're welcome to have blocks under your hands for runner's lunge. Again, not so much a question of do you need to, it's just a question of do you want to. Kind of experimenting, being curious about how props can help make our poses feel different, maybe more spacious. Let's rock back and forth. So we'll straighten the front leg as we come up onto that left heel and then back into runner's lunge. Inhale as we straighten into a pyramid pose and then exhale, runner's lunge. We're releasing through that right hip flexor and the left hamstring. Take care not to let that left knee poke out over the left toes. So you might have to increase the distance between your feet. Letting the breath guide you. Flowing with the inhale, flowing with the exhale. We'll all meet in the runner's lunge. And now we'll place the left heel on the mat so the foot is slightly angled. And you've got basically a heel to heel alignment. Press into both feet and inhale, warrior one pose. The shoulders and the hips are turning towards the front of the room, both feet pressing into the mat. Let's make a fist behind us. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears and pull the fist down towards the mat. You're welcome, if you'd like to introduce a little back bend, lifting the heart, lifting the gaze, and pulling those fists away. Inhale, the gaze comes forward. Let's place the fists on the left hip. And now turn that back foot so it's parallel with the back edge of the mat. We're getting ready for our warrior two pose. Inhale and exhale. Let's drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, let's tip to the left. So it's kind of a side angle with a bind. Notice how that right hand on your low back helps. If you press the hand into the back, you can really open up that right shoulder. Feel free to release the grip. Left hand comes to the inside of the left leg, right arm reaches for the sky. Extend the arms nice and wide. Inhale. Exhale, let's press up into warrior two pose. Beautiful, everyone. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, reverse triangle. Left arm reaches for the sky. Inhale, warrior two arms, keep the legs straight. We'll move into extended triangle pose. Left fingers reach forward. And then exhale as you tip into triangle. Again, a nice wide open chest, wide open hips. Breathe across the heart. Feel space. Nice, everyone. Press into the outside edge of that back foot. Keep the inner thighs engaged. Lift the pelvic floor and use your core. One more inhale here. Exhale, right hand comes to the mat, left arm sweeps overhead. We revolve our runner's lunge. Right heel lifts off the mat, right leg is really nice and straight and strong. Inhale. And exhale, both hands come to the mat. Let's step back into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths to release, find space, shift side to side, dangle the head, let it drop between the biceps. Let's inhale high onto the tiptoes. Open the mouth, exhale, pull the heels towards the mat. The knees can be bent. The heels might not actually touch the mat. That's okay. We're just deepening the down dog, finding a nice extension in the spine. Let's look to the top of the mat, either walk or hop, meeting in forward fold at the top of the mat. Head drops, tail lifts. Feet are planted. Inhale, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release, forward fold. Bend the knees deeply, tuck the chin, press the feet as you rise. Pressing ourselves tall. Inhale. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, palms reach. Swan dive, bend the knees, forward fold. The left foot steps to the back of the mat, runner's lunge. And now we'll do that shifting back and forth, stretching the right hamstring, and then the left hip flexor, using the breath with each movement, making this a nice flow. Maybe you inhale as you move forward. Maybe you inhale as you straighten into pyramid. It's up to you. Just connect. Mind, breath, body. We'll meet in the runner's lunge. The heart pulls forward. The heel reaches towards the back of the room. And now we'll place the left heel on the mat, heel to heel alignment, press into the feet, lift warrior one. Inhale and make a fist. Roll the shoulders up to the ears and pull the fist down towards the floor. Back bend if you'd like to. Inhale, gaze comes forward. The fists come to the right hip. Rotate that back foot. Warrior two legs. Inhale and exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, the head lifts. Exhale, we'll bend to the right. Release that bind as you'd like. The right hand will come along the inside of the right leg. The left arm extends to the sky. We've got a nice extension between the fingers, extension in the back leg, extension in the spine. Inhale and exhale as we rise up into warrior two pose. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, reverse triangle. Right arm sweeps overhead. Again, a nice extension from hand to foot. Keep the legs straight, bring the arms out to the sides. Let's inhale as we reach those right fingers forward and then extended triangle pose. Nice. Press into both feet, slightly lift the pelvic floor, have the core engaged. Beautiful, everyone. One more inhale here. Exhale, left hand to the mat, right arm sweeps overhead, left heel lifts off the mat. Revolved runner's lunge, nice. Inhale and exhale, both hands come to the mat. Let's step back into downward facing dog. Inhale onto the tiptoes. Open your mouth, exhale, heels draw towards the mat. The knees can bend as deeply as you'd like. Extend that tailbone. Let's move our blocks towards the back of the mat and then meet back in downward facing dog. All right, from down dog, let's lift that right leg, three-legged dog, and then bend the knee and lift the knee open. But keep pressure even in the hands. Keep the shoulders evenly pressing towards the mat. Extend the right leg, three-legged down dog. Walk the hands back towards the standing foot, and you can bring the blocks underneath your hands, which are about underneath your shoulders for a supported warrior three pose. At any time, you're welcome to bring the hands, the fingertips off the blocks, maybe to heart center, maybe along your sides. You can always bring the hands to the sacrum. Make sure that it's flat, that the right hip isn't lifting. Let's inhale into high march. Right knee lifts. Hands come to the heart, pausing here, finding your drishti gaze, a spot on the wall in the front of the room. Focus your eyes softly on that spot. Inhale, and tree pose will be our exhale. So maybe the foot comes to the calf, kickstands on the floor, or comes up to the inner thigh. The thigh will press into the foot with equal pressure as the foot pressing into the thigh. The right knee is open. The standing leg is lifted, kneecap lifted. If you feel sturdy and steady, you're welcome to do anything you'd like with your branches. Maybe taking that bind, making the fist behind us, pressing the fist to the floor, opening up through the shoulders, and slightly lifting the gaze. If you've got your gaze lifted, come back to the front of the room and go ahead and release. Out of tree pose, shake the legs out. Let's inhale and exhale, forward fold. We'll walk out into plank pose this time, Palankasana. So the knees can be lightly touching the mat or off the mat. The heels are above the balls of the feet. You have a slight lifting of the upper back and a slight hollowing out underneath on the underarms. Slight hollowing out feeling so that your upper back can lift, your core is engaged, low ribs pulling toward the pubic bone. Big, long, deep breath. On the exhale, we'll lower down onto our bellies. Flatten the feet. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, release. Hands under the shoulders, elbows pulling towards the spine. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale into cobra. This time, hover the palms just above the mat. Keep the elbows pulling towards the spine. The gaze is down the end of your nose towards the top of the mat. Feel the pubic area pressing into the mat, core engaged. Hands come to the mat, toes curl under. We'll press either into plank or tabletop, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look to the top of the mat, and we'll meet in forward fold up at the top. Inhale, lifting halfway, and then we exhale, we fold forward. Bend the knees, tuck your chin, press to stand. Extending through the spine with a big inhale, arms reach overhead. Hands come to the heart. Inhale, palms reach. Swan dive, forward fold, bend the knees. The left foot steps to the back of the mat. Actually, not. Let's come back into downward facing dog. We want to do that other side first. Let's lift the left leg, three-legged down dog, and then bend the knee, and then open the knee. Lifting that knee open, pressing equally into the hands. Extend the left leg, three-legged down dog. Now we'll walk our hands back towards the feet. The standing foot. Blocks can come under the shoulders. Fingertips light on the blocks for a supported warrior three pose, or maybe the hands lift to the heart, or fly along the sides, or extend out towards the top of the mat. Maybe the hands check the hips, making sure the left one hasn't lifted. Let's inhale into high march, left knee lifts, hands rest at the heart, pausing for a moment, reconnecting. And then we'll move into our tree pose, Vrikshasana pose. Find that drishti gaze again. Lift the kneecap of the standing leg. Slight lift of the pelvic floor. Nice little tuck of the core. Go ahead and move the branches. Let's inhale again. Exhale, release. Both feet come to the floor. Shake the legs out. And then we'll inhale and exhale, hands to the mat, walk out into plank pose. Again, let's hold a strong plank, pressing into the full hand, the full length of each finger. Lifting up out of the underarms, lifting the upper back. Inhale. Exhale will move us into our chaturanga. Inhale will move us into our back bend, cobra or up dog. And exhale will move us into down dog. And now we'll bend our knees, look to the top of the mat, and move to forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, tuck the chin, press to stand. Arms reach overhead, inhale, palms together. Swan dive, forward fold, bend the knees, exhale. Right foot steps to the back of the mat, runner's lunge. Right heel comes to the mat, inhale, warrior one pose. Exhale, warrior two pose. Inhale as we extend, and exhale, side angle. That left arm comes to the inside of the left leg, the right arm sweeps overhead. You've got a nice long line from the left hand to the right. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two, using your core to lift you up, straighten the front leg. Reverse triangle, inhale. Exhale, arms come down from the shoulders, left fingertips reach forward, and extended triangle pose. Press into that back foot. The gaze can be up at the upper hand, or straight at the windows, or down at the floor. Inhale, right hand to the mat, left arm to the sky. Revolved runner's lunge. Inhale, and then bring the left hand to the mat. The left foot steps back, three-legged down dog. Inhale, walk the hands back towards the standing foot. Blocks under the shoulders for supported warrior three, or maybe unsupported warrior three. Inhale. Exhale, that back leg is straight and strong. We inhale to high march, left knee lifts. And then tree pose. Inhale and exhale. We'll just stay in the tree pose for the second time. A little bit less time. Go ahead and shake the legs out. Inhale, forward fold, exhale. Hands walk to the top of the mat into plank pose. Go through your flow if you want to, or just come straight to downward facing dog. In down dog, inhale. Open your mouth, exhale. Bend the knees. Make your way to the top of the mat into forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release, fold, bend the knees, tuck the chin, press to stand. Arms reach, palms together, and then swan dive, bend the knees, forward fold. Left foot steps to the back of the mat, runner's lunge. Extend long and then place the left heel on the mat. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, side angle on the exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten that front leg and then reach the right arm back, reverse triangle pose. Inhale as the arms extend out and exhale, triangle. Inhale, revolved runner's lunge on the exhale, left hand on the mat, right arm to the sky. Inhale here, hand to the mat on the exhale, the right foot lifts back into three-legged down dog. The hands walk back towards the standing foot. Blocks to support you for supported warrior three pose. Inhale, high march, right knee lifts, and then tree pose. Inhale and exhale, both feet come to the mat. Let's inhale, bringing the arms overhead, big stretch. Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute pose. Fingers reaching, feet planting. Let's bring the right foot behind the left. Press into the balls of the feet. Inhale here, forward fold, exhale. If you've got the blocks underneath your hands, you can just kind of use them as an extension of your hand. We inhale, lengthening through the back, and exhale, walk the hands or the blocks to the right. Continue pressing into both feet. Inhale, blocks or hands center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, block center, uncross the feet, bend the knees, tuck the chin, and press yourself up to stand. Arms reach overhead. Urdhva Hastasana. Right leg steps, right foot steps behind the left this time. Press into the balls of the feet. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Find the blocks if you'd like. Inhale, extend the spine long, half lift. Exhale, blocks to the left or hands. Inhale, center. Exhale, blocks to the right. Inhale, center. You can move the blocks off the mat, uncross the feet. And let's walk the hands out into downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Pull forward into plank as that knee hovers just underneath the chest. Hug it in close. Rounding of the upper back. The right knee comes to rest on the floor behind the right wrist. Set up for pigeon pose. That left leg slides down the mat. Take a moment to look over the left shoulder, stretching through the neck. Look over the right shoulder, stretching through the neck. Inhale, the heart pulls you forward. Exhale, the heart leads you towards the floor. Now, if this doesn't feel good on your knees, it looks like everybody's okay. Just always remember that you can come to your back and do the pigeon pose on your back, just like we did at the beginning of class with ankle crossed over the thigh. Once you're in the pose, once you start to feel the body weight pressing you towards the mat, see if you can just release bit by bit through the inner thighs, through that right hip, the right glute. Try not to clench anywhere. The face, the tongue, the eyes, no clenching. Hands soft. And then take some deep and steady breaths. Maybe if your mind is wandering, I breathe in on the inhale. I breathe out on the exhale. You're welcome, if you'd like to thread the right arm under the left in the pigeon pose. And then keep the breath long and steady. Always listen to the body's signals. Adjust your position as you need to accommodate any injuries, any twinges, any sensations that don't feel like they should be there. Inhale and exhale. Release just a little bit more. And then our hands will come to the mat as we gently and mindfully press ourselves out of pigeon pose. Curl the back toes under. Maybe you press into downward facing dog, maybe three-legged dog or one-legged dog with the right leg lifted. Maybe you come into a wide stance with your legs. Eventually, we'll meet back into downward facing dog. And then the right leg lifts. And we pull forward into plank as the knee tucks up close to our chest. Rounded upper back, full hand, all fingers pressing into the mat. Inhale, exhale, the leg comes to the mat, left knee by the left hand, right leg down the mat, look over the right shoulder, look over the left shoulder. And then the heart pulls you long and it leads you down to the ground or whatever position your pigeon pose is on this side. Maybe your hands stay on the mat. Maybe your forearms come to the mat. Always accommodating. For just the different ways our skeletons are. We're all built differently. Different jobs, different lifestyles. We all just come into this shape in a different way. It looks different on everybody. Everybody can do yoga. You're welcome to thread the left arm under the right if you'd like. And then with the inner gaze, travel down the body. Release any clenching, any tightness. And then bring the inner gaze to the mind. Imagine that the brain can even soften. We'll take 3 more rounds of breath. And after your last exhale, you can begin that mindful transition out of this pose and into whatever your transition pose is, maybe down dog. Let's all come to hands and knees. We'll start to slow things down a little bit further with some cats and cows. Mindfully connecting the breath to the body and to the mind. And then maybe we shift our hips to one side, looking over the same shoulder, hips to the other side, looking over the shoulder. And then we'll come all the way down onto our backs. Bring the knees into the chest. When you get there, maybe you just naturally start rocking side to side. Lay the left leg onto the mat, keeping the right knee hugging close. And then slide the right knee off towards the right underarm. Maybe the left hand grabs the right ankle and hugs that bottom of the leg close to the ribs. Inhale. And the exhale brings us into a spinal rotation. Right knee crosses over the body. The right arm extends. And maybe lift the head and lay it back down, looking towards the right. Both shoulder blades are on the mat. The inner thighs release, the pelvic floor releases, everything releases here. And then you can switch sides. Right leg goes long on the mat, left knee hugs in tight, and then slide that knee towards your left underarm. And on any of your next exhales, bring that knee across the body. The left shoulder blade is on the floor. The inner thighs release. We'll roll onto our backs. Plant the feet, hands down by the sides, palms on the mat, sway the knees. And if there's any final poses, shapes you'd like before Shavasana, go ahead and do that now. Maybe just a lifting of the feet. Letting the blood and the fluids reverse their flow. Or imagining that they do. And finally, we'll extend the legs out, finding space between the legs, arms down by the sides, or they can come up overhead, bending at the elbows, maybe touching the pointer fingers if you'd like, just kind of giving a little more traction to the spine. Use that inner gaze again to scan the body from the scalp across the face, across the chest, belly, ribs, hips, legs, feet. We'll do just a little breathing exercise, a little pranayama as we move into our Shavasana. So let's inhale for the count of 4 and let's go now. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause. 2, 3, 4. We'll do that again. Inhale, hold, exhale, and hold. Big inhale, no count on this one. Open your mouths and exhale. So that was called the box breath. It's just another tool, another breathing technique to slow our minds, redirect our thoughts, allow us to be in contact with the breath. And now for the rest of Shavasana, just let the breathing become natural and shallow and slow. Let's inhale together. And exhale. Bring a hand to the belly and a hand to the heart. Feel the wonder of the heartbeat, the wonder of the breath. We don't have to think about it. And the wonder of how we can move our bodies how we can learn balance and strength, how we learn to connect our mind and our breath and our body in our practice. It is really such a beautiful thing. If you'd like to stretch long, you can do that. Raising the arms overhead, pointing the toes, lifting the upper back. We'll roll to one side. Pausing again. Inhale. And exhale. We'll rise to sit facing forward. The hands can come to the heart, thumb against the heart. Press the thumbs against the chest, and then with an inhale, imagine you can lift the chest just a little higher with your thumbs, lengthening through the back. And exhale. One more big inhale. And exhale as we bow our chins to our chest. Thank you for letting me be with you in this practice today. Namaste.